All right, everyone. It is 10 o'clock and we're going to get started. Once again, welcome to everyone who's out here to our 2022 graduation ceremony. Dr. Cruiser, you may begin.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Grace Shannon, your Executive Student Council President, and I would like to thank you all so much for being here today. Now would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may now be seated. I now have the privilege of introducing our principal, Mr. David Roth. I want to thank you for all you do, and thank you for the care that you have demonstrated for every student here today. You are very much appreciated. Mr. Roth.
Welcome, everyone, to our 2022 graduation ceremony. I'd like to express my wholehearted congratulations to all of you, the class of 2022. Today is a monumental day for you and your families. I know both parents and students alike have worked hard to get to this day. I include parents because in so many cases, it's a parent's hard work and sacrifice that made it possible for their sons and daughters to graduate from high school. Furthermore, your teachers have spent many hours of teaching, providing encouragement, and moral support. Finally, but certainly not least, yourselves as graduates-to-be. Let's make sure you honor yourselves, your teachers, parents, and guardians with a huge round of applause. Thank you. Let me take a moment to recognize our Valedictorian, Salutatorian, and some of our elective student leaders who are seated in the front row to my left. If I could please have you stand up. I would also like to recognize members of our Board of Education, district office, school counselors, and the district administrative team, many of whom are here today. I also want to thank Peter and Chris Carosa for videoing our event and making it available on Facebook Live. Moreover, I want to recognize all the district staff members who assisted in making today's event possible. Let's look at what this class has accomplished. First of all, over 43% of the class has made high honor roll. 30% are members of the National Honor Society. 98% graduated with Regents diplomas. 70% with advanced Regents diplomas, and 72% are planning on attending college. Many of you have earned credits through honors, advanced placement, Rochester Institute of Technology, Monroe, and Genesee Community College. Many of you have participated in extracurricular activities such as academic teams, athletics, band, chorus, and school plays. Some of you have achieved sectional, regional, and state recognition. But what is most important is that you gave 100% and that you all walked away as winners. And now my parting advice for the members of the class of 2022 is to be resilient and to persevere. Literally speaking, the definition of resiliency is the ability of an object to spring back into place once broken. In its figurative sense, the meaning is to be strong and not easily damaged. I wish I could tell you that life will always be easy after high school, that everyone will treat you fairly with respect, and that you will never fail. The truth is that at some point, you will most likely have to deal with adversity or possible failure. It is how you face these challenges that is important. The human spirit is an amazing thing. It gives us courage to continue on. It's not about the way that you fall that is important. It's how you get back up. As we age, our scars remind us that we indeed survived even our deepest of wounds. This in itself is a huge accomplishment. But they should also bring something else to mind. These scars should remind us that even though life can be difficult, it has left us stronger and more resilient. What has hurt us in the past will only make us better equipped to face life's future challenges. I'd like to share a quote written by Dr. Stephen Mirabola. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. Therefore, I challenge you all to continue to be resilient and persevere no matter what life throws your way. In addition, Be mindful to demonstrate love, hope, compassion, and empathy towards one another, because not all scars are easily seen. I ask that you respect the speakers today, because I know that they have worked hard to be a part of this celebration. Thank you very much, and now I'd like to introduce Henry Shields, our high school valedictorian.
Thank you very much, Mr. Roth, not just for the introduction, but for all the work you do to provide us with this wonderful education we've come to know and love. Good morning to you all, teachers, faculty, my mom, your mom, friends and family, and of course, let's give it up for the graduating class of 2022. Welcome all to the Honeoye Falls-Lima Class of 2022 Commencement Ceremony. This is a truly life-changing day, and I couldn't be more grateful for a moment of your time. As we students stand here anxious to acquire the paper that defines our past 12 years, I can't help but appreciate this fantastic class of ours. No matter how many APs, sports, or extracurriculars you participated in, to earn this diploma and to go through what we have all been through shows grit, determination, and perseverance. It was Friday, March the 13th, 2020, when COVID stopped school for 2 whole weeks, which seemed to still be going, and it has been every day since that we've dealt with teachers talking to muted boxes, masks, and a whole new level of procrastination. But let's bottle that up for now, as Gen Z does so well, and today of all days, let us not dwell on the past, but appreciate just how far we've come since the days of the Mesopotamia song, PEMDAS, and even our ABCs. This speech was hard to write, not just because I procrastinate essays till the night they're due, or because I'm in front of the whole class and their mothers, but because this speech, to me, represents the end of an era. For many of us, this school district has been an enormous part of our developing lives. We have grown not only through our successes and achievements, but also through our failures. We have learned not through the convenient, but through the challenges and hardships. Every experience has provided a valuable learning opportunity to mature and push past our previous limits. And no matter the obstacle, this school and community have always had our backs. Some of us have traveled, some of us have moved, but all of us are about to embark on a life-changing journey. Today is bittersweet. Today, we leave behind the village that made us who we are and the people that have been there all along the way. Today, we are released into freedom. As we embark on this journey and we move away from our friends, family, and loved ones, let's take a moment to reflect on our time here. Because while this leap takes great courage and at times may cause great pain, it is not insurmountable. Remember, we've overcame every obstacle put before us. Neon spandex in manor school, fidget spinners, the dreaded mile, the harmonica in 3rd grade with Mr. Mashner, that was weird. A deadly pandemic, and worst of all, the school blocking Quizlet this year. Our entire lives have been a test to get to this moment, so going forward, have a little faith in yourself, because your family, teachers, and I truly do. Though our childhood may be ending, the world is opening up before us, so go forth with confidence. No longer tell yourself you're not good enough. No longer waste your precious time and energy on people that don't wish the best for you. No longer procrastinate your own happiness for a future that isn't guaranteed. From today forward, you hold the reins to your future. So ask yourself, where are you going to steer? And while so much may be changing, in the madness, don't lose sight of your individuality. Do not allow yourself to be mediocre. Not that having average talents or abilities is bad, of course, but do not allow yourself to give up on your passion or have it compromised by others. Do not, in 50 years, look back and regret not following that dream or choosing that path. Do not just go with the status quo, floating the lazy river of societal expectation, but choose the waterfalls and the rapids. Dive into the trenches and the caves. Do not grow complacent. Do not settle. No, that simply won't do. From this field today, all of you, with your diploma in hand, work for what you believe in. Push for your dreams and ignore those that would wish you otherwise. Do not let yourself be ruled by fears of what-ifs or imaginary disasters, because in this short life, the biggest disservice we can do to ourselves is to give up on who we are and what we love. Life moves quick, and while dedication and hard work are essential, don't forget to appreciate the joys of every day. Thank those who bring a smile, and care for those that care for you. As my dad once helpfully suggested, be ruthless with time, but be gracious with people. As for myself, I'd like to thank my parents, whose support and kindness have inspired me to become a better human every day, whose perspective and outlook have influenced who I am, and whose generosity is felt in the homes of so many. I would like to thank my fantastic friends, whose humor, stability, and guidance have allowed me to stay sane in these, to say the least, intense times, and grow no matter the struggle. Thank you from all of us to the teachers and faculty of this school for being patient, dedicated, and nurturing. Though we may not say it nearly enough, we appreciate everything you've done these past 12 years, and we simply couldn't have reached this life-altering day without you. Even to Mr. Summers, who consistently crippled my mind every day at 9 a.m. this year. Thank you. And I think I speak for all of us here when I say thank you to Spark Notes for being there at 2 a.m. when our sanity was not. And finally, thank you to every single person before me graduating today. Thank you for being a peer, a competitor, and a friend. Because no matter who you are, your existence has at some time, some place, pushed others to overcome, question, and grow. But even more importantly, thank you for investing these last years in yourself, in maturing, learning, and bettering yourself, so that as we are let loose into this mad, mad world, you can be confident in who you are and your skills as a student and scholar. I believe if there's one message to take away from high school, it is that we are all going through our own struggles, pains, and challenges. So always, always, always be kind, not only to those around you, but yourself. And let us take today as an opportunity to thank those who have been beside us and celebrate with each other, rather than mourning the distances put between us. Because no matter the change we face, this town will always be your home. Thank you, everyone, not just for your time, but the laughs, experiences, and memories we've all enjoyed together. I will not be the first or the last to say this, but from the bottom of my heart, congratulations for this momentous achievement. Pat yourself on the back, because we finally made it. And now, it is my great pleasure to introduce my extremely talented and handsome friend, your salutatorian of the class of 2022. Let's give it up for Mr. Rowan Torpy.
Thanks, Henry. Hey everyone, and welcome to the 2022 HFL graduation ceremony. I am honored to be speaking before you today. Thank you to everyone for coming out to support, parents, grandparents, siblings, teachers, coaches, and anyone else who has now found yourself waiting to hear words of wisdom from some random 17-year-old kid. But first, I would like to take a second to thank some people who have been very influential in my life. First, of course, my parents, who have committed to raising me the last 17 years, much to their financial detriment, and given me so much love and support. I look up to you in both in so many ways, so thank you. Next, my sisters, who have at times annoyed me more than I think is humanly possible for anyone else I'll ever meet. But they've always been there for me, and through repeated harassment have probably forced me from being a very weird kid to only somewhat weird. So I owe you guys a lot for that, especially you, Shayla. Also, I'd like to thank two very special mentors from my life. Mr. Simons, who was my programming mentor in robotics, and Mrs. Northrup, who was my, oh, this is out of order. This is missing a page. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, they were just all together. Got it.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Okay, so Mrs. Northrup, who was my teacher, middle school Nordic coach, and Odyssey of the Mind coach. Both of you inspired me a lot by your ability to always be involved and give your time to helping others, especially kids, and you both had far more of a positive impact on my life than you probably realize. So thank you. And lastly, I'd like to thank all our teachers from all the years we spent in this district. This is an amazing school district, and there are many teachers that have hugely impacted many of our lives. We all owe you a massive thank you. So today, I would like to talk to you about a subject that's been on my mind a lot recently, embracing responsibility. This is a topic that has become increasingly relevant as we graduate high school and move into the real world. I'd like to share a couple stories from my life, some words of wisdom from inspirational people, and most importantly, a couple of words from a few of my extremely accomplished friends. Over the years, I've made a generalization that things I don't want to do fall under two main categories. The first is, wow, I really gotta do that. And the second is, I should probably do that, which almost always turns into, crap, I never did that. This became quite apparent to me during the college application process, which of course started out with high ambitions and a list of about a dozen colleges, many of which were fancy private schools. However, I soon discovered that there's more to success than ambition, and colleges do in fact require you to do work to apply. My spirit quickly dwindled, with schools being removed from the list based solely on the criteria of submission date and how many S's they required. In the end, my list of colleges was sorted into two groups. 7, I should probably get to that eventually schools, and 5, I really gotta do that schools. 4 of which coincidentally had no essays for me to write. As you can probably guess, I applied to a total of 5 schools. This is a classic case of procrastination, which all of us know quite well. We're all familiar with doing our homework the set before it was due, pushing off studying for tests until we just never did, or thinking about cleaning our rooms, deciding that was enough progress for the day, and settling for watching Netflix instead. In the words of the most skilled procrastinator I know, Mr. Sam Gaylord, remember, there's always tomorrow. While all our situations in life are different, many of you, like me, are fortunate enough to go to your minimum wage jobs and work however many hours we please to make money that feels very expendable. Personally, I recently spent mine on building a take-tread electric skateboard in an effort to avoid writing this speech. And although it's been a cool project, I really just ended up $600 poorer and with a slightly more rushed speech, but that's besides the point. While this methodology is fine for now, in a few years life will not be so simple. If we spend all our money on cool but unnecessary purchases, we will not only be HFL graduates, but very hungry HFL graduates. And that can be a scary thing. But before you get nervous, I give you this solace. Mr. Higgins, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can always just swipe a credit card and ditch it when it stops working. While this new responsibility can often feel overwhelming, as we shift from procrastination and applying to college to our own basic needs of survival, this is really an immensely exciting time. But as a good friend of mine recently reminded me, Rowan, you are a very stupid Salutatorian. So instead of my own words, I will use a famous person's words to make my point. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, the purpose of life is to live it, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experiences. Sure, life can feel very difficult, and responsibility can be intimidating, but to live a fulfilling life requires us to accept the change and to seek experiences that will help us grow as people. In the words of class of 2022 graduate and second singles tennis player, Will Tomaszewski, every new experience is an opportunity to become a better person, which is actually the only good quote I got from anyone. A lot of us have accomplished such great things, and when I look around, I see some extremely successful people I'm honored to have gone to school with. There are some nationally recognized musicians, Division I athletes, spectacular artists, scholars, and many all-around great people that although they might not have such a widely recognized achievement, have so much promise and ability to make the people around them and their community a better place. So, to leave you with a cheesy message to remember, We all have very promising lives ahead of us. Every last one of us has the potential to do something great and leave those around us in a better place than we met them. No matter how you plan to make an impact, it's been a privilege to grow up with all of you. And don't be afraid of all the new responsibility coming towards us. Be excited, because every one of us can do something great with our lives. As CLAP's optimist, Ryan Spaker, once said, "Live, laugh, love." So I wish you the best to all of you, and go live your life without fear or hesitation, because we can all go do amazing things. Thank you. And now, if you would please give your attention to our beloved Class of 2022 President, Casey Wall.
Thank you, Rowan. Good morning, everyone. And I see we got a nice turnout, and I know it's a little hot, so I'll try and keep this brief. I'd like to start today by thanking everyone who's made the past 4, 8, 12, or 13 years of our lives together incredible. I want to thank our parents, friends, family, and community members for creating the nurturing environment that we all grew up in, as well as our teachers, administration, and everyone else for all their hard work to support us through our years here. To encapsulate how lucky we are to have grown up in HFL, I'd like to share a quick story that has kind of stuck with me. I was in middle school, maybe 6th grade, and I would regularly bike to school. One morning, my bike broke on the way, so I tried to track down a custodian to help me fix it. I found Mr. Harrington, who helped me wheel into the school, and he said he'd fix it for me. I was just hoping for a wrench, but instead he fixed it in total. And it's the end of my story. There's no crazy twists or turns, but that story's not without meaning. I believe it shows the random acts of kindness that our community stands for, and the random acts of kindness that are so needed today. Imagine you're busy at work, and the last thing you want to hear is just have some kid walk up to you and start asking you for things. Your first thought probably isn't to drop everything and go help out, but that's how it is here at HFL. That's how our community operates, and hopefully it's how you all continue to live your lives when you leave here. Life is full of passing moments such as I described, which brings me to the message I'd like to share with you all. Life is what you make of it. Upon arriving here today, you might think of this as your last high school experience. You might have gone through this year noticing all of your last games, musicals, competitions, classes, and tests, and for all the good and bad, you're right. It was the last. There's no going back, which is something that might hurt to hear and think of, but we can't think of this as the beginning of the end and the last moment of your childhood, but you need to realize this is the end of the beginning. High school isn't a drop in the bucket, it's a drop in the ocean. And there are few certainties in life, which is why you need to take advantage of every moment you have. Because, as you may have realized the past few weeks, certain moments may never come back, like playing euchre games against some supposedly very, very good players. Learn from everything you've done and felt the past few years, and let these experiences craft your decisions moving forward. Don't just drift through your day, do something, help someone, and most importantly, enjoy what you do. Ferris Bueller said it best. Life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it. So, in these last few words that I'm lucky enough to give you all, the class of 2022, congratulations, thank you, and good luck. It is now my honor to introduce the graduation chorus led by Mr. Gould.
We're going to take a 1-minute timeout to make sure if we need emergency care over there in the bleachers, that we take a minute to do that. While we take that minute, ladies and gentlemen of the graduating class, this is the last time you'll sit in alphabetical order. Please shake the hand of the kid to your left and your right. Thank you very much. Our medical professionals are here. Thank you to them for being here. Members of the Board of Education, colleagues in administration, distinguished members of the faculty and staff, class officers, family, friends, and most importantly, members of the class of 2022. This is your commencement, the 52nd commencement ceremony for the Honeoye Falls-Lima Central School District. I am Superintendent Gene Mancuso. If you could all just take a second on this hot day, graduates, to look up, look around, feel the cloth of your robe, pay attention to see who else is here. For your whole life, every now and again, do the same thing. You are in a real place, unlike Facebook or Instagram. This is a real place, right here, right now, and there's no place I'd rather be. These are your classmates, and you are surrounded by caring adults. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. The next time you attend a high school graduation, it might be for a sibling, a cousin, but likely it will be for your own children. It has been said that the two most significant times in your life are the day you are born and the day you figure out why you were born. To help in answering this question, I hope that you put down your cell phone every once in a while and connect directly to the world for inspiration. Because even though we can Google for a job and search for an answer and even find a date or a spouse online, you can't find what's in your heart, the passion that drives you, lifts you up, and gives you purpose. You see, this morning, I look out and I see unlimited possibilities. We are celebrating your readiness to move on to life beyond HFL. Your journey began with the small tentative steps of kindergarten. Looking at you now, it's easy for me to see how far you have progressed. From learning to tie your shoes, to learning to drive. From that first project in art class to the glorious performance of music we just heard. For your parents who helped and supported you along the way, today's like a mirage, literally. They are in their chairs trying to decide if this is real. They picked you up when you fell, loved you unconditionally, changed more diapers than they cared to remember, and yet are here to celebrate your graduation day. It is indeed gratifying to see that you have matured and become proficient, ready to tackle the next challenges. In the past, I would have told the class you're about to leave your comfort zone, but we all know that's not true. For the last several years, it hasn't been comfortable. It's been hard. I recognize that. I am so happy to see your faces because masks, Zooms, changing schedules, classes every other week, rescheduling of activities, learning to live with illness and sickness and uncertainty. One thing you have learned for sure is that never take anything for granted. Cherish and celebrate whenever you can. I love being the superintendent of Honeoye Falls-Lima. This community epitomizes the idea of caring. A true community is not just geographically close, but rather feeling connected by shared interest, values, and a commitment to always be there to help each other through difficult times. Kids, your smiles, attitudes, questions, heartaches, and challenges and triumphs are the energy that drives the school district's engines. Please stay connected, stay positive, and be the person everyone else wants to be around. This year and over the course of this pandemic, we've had challenges. They won't be your last or your biggest, but it's a clear reminder for us all not to take moments like this for granted. The class of 2020 graduated in July on this field, and it was hotter. Last year's class, we didn't have much live music. Today feels like graduation. Life is full of little moments that may seem insignificant when they occur, but years later you look back and say, wow, my mom always answered my text. My dad showed up at almost every game. How did that teacher know something was wrong? How did I end up with that person as a friend? I can't believe that coach got me to play that position or to try that instrument. Seeming ordinary moments that give you a chance at a fulfilling life. When you are old and gray like me, you stop looking for that one perfect moment and you start appreciating the ordinary moments that make life great. My wish to you is that you go out to the world and find yourself. Be the best version of you can be, not for HFL or your parents, but for you. Be your authentic self. Leave today knowing that tomorrow starts a new journey, and there's no telling how far you can go. A little later on this morning, you will become the newest proud alumni of HFL. Congratulations to the class of 2022. It's my pleasure to now introduce two board members to confer our graduates, Mrs. Amy West and Mrs. Carol Bellavia.
Would the graduates please stand now for the certification of the class? It gives me great pleasure to certify that the students about to receive their diplomas have fulfilled the requirements for graduation under the guidelines set forth by the State of New York and the Board of Education of the Honeoye Falls-Lima Central School District. They are hereby acknowledged as graduates of Honeoye Falls-Lima High School with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities that pertain thereto.
Graduate, it is now time for the turning of the tassel, a symbolic event marking the commencement of your life as a high school graduate. So with your left hand, take the tassel and move it from the right side to the left side of the mortarboard. Well done. On behalf of myself and the entire Board of Education, congratulations. Best of luck in your future endeavors. And now Diane Witkowski for the presentation of the diplomas.
Graduates, please be seated. One more round of congratulations from the Counseling Center. Ms. Albertelli, Ms. Mattina, and I are very proud to announce the graduates for the class of 2022. Henry. First row, you may stand up. Henry Oscar Shields. Rowan Michael Torpy. Grace Victoria Shannon. Casey Patrick Wall. William Lawrence Tomaszewski. Tegan Suzanne Cam. Seamus Kirby Gillis. Hayden Robert Meehan. August Langley Lant. Knox Clayton Ackerman. Brooke Marie Alexander. Kaylee Shaban Anisi. Alex Angelina Ardietta. Brody Joseph Atkinson. Daniel James Atkinson. Rozzy A. Bagg. Jack Paul Bailey. Juliana Nicole Barbieri. Trent E. Barker. Kyla Rose Bartolotti. Chance Jason Bears. Connor Keith Becker. Tucker Carl Beckett. Brooklyn Victoria Bellavia. Mara Christina Bianchi. Frank Thomas Binzak. Olivia Rose Blodgett. Grace L.J. Bogart. Andrew Jason Bovenzi. Jenna Lee Bovenzi. Sheldon William Boyce III. David Lawrence Brassey. Anne Judith Brennan. Cody Dean Brisbane. Mitchell Bruce Bowling. Chloe Catherine Bush. Simon Copernicus Butler. Ian Michael Camp. Jacob Andrew Campbell. Xavier Bedford Carbonell. Devin Michael Carpenter. Benjamin James Carson. Cole Robert Chaparino. Jalen Rose Clark. Kyler Michael Cole. Bethany Jordan Kohler. Lauren Elizabeth Connolly. Thomas Alexander Connolly. Molly Jane Connors. Zachary Douglas Michael Calburn. Sean Closser Daler. Sydney Camille Danella. Matthew Ryan Davidson. Grace Desmond DeClerc. Taya Marie Diesenroth. Matthew H. Dobner. Whitley Faye Easton. Benjamin Nicholas Alardo. Sam Alexander Emerson. Tyler Jordan Emerson. Anna Louise Everhart. Abigail Mary Shannon Finn. Ethan Samuel Ford. Emily Elizabeth Frazier. Amelia Grace Fuller.
Samuel Osgood Gaylord. Ryan William Gillette. Aiden James Gould. Garrett Andrew Hall. Ella Sophia Hensel Cronin. Mason Robert Hinckley. Emma May Hoffman. Julia L. Hoskins. Benjamin Robert Hool. Shannon Elizabeth Howe. Olivia Hope Houlihan. Michaela Josephine Jacopelli Bornheimer. Angela Cynthia Rose Kale. Orestes Casson. Jacqueline Grace Keister. Riley James Kester. Mackenzie Paige Kettlehone. Emma Elizabeth Kidd. Okay. Carolyn May Killenbeck. James Thomas Killenbeck. Sadie Ray Killenbeck. Charles Joseph Kirby. Jamie Sue Knapp. Hayden Nathaniel Koch. Sydney Ann Kreidler. Ian Zachary LaBelle. Sophia Corinne Lanzalaco. Louis Walton Laviani. Emily Rose Lafroy Heath. Zachary Amos Lenning. Mackenzie Ray Levine. Mark Anthony Lavecchi. Joseph Frederick Lochner. Morgan Rose Long. Jonah Leo Ludwig. Ella Madeline McGee. Valentino Mariano Maiola. Owen Harrison Malak. Taylor Madison Mantegna. Owen Joseph Martin. Charles Duval Masick. Griffin Thomas Mayo. Ryan Daniel McLean. Avery John McLaughlin. Zachary Tyler Meacham. Catherine Scott Miller. Bridget Morgan Miskell. Cody William Montone. Dylan Jacob Moody. Sarah Mackenzie Moon. Bryn Taylor Mooney. Liliana Margaret Moore. Kenneth James Morrell. Joseph Kenneth Northrup.
Maeve Carlin O'Brien. Tyler Michael Osborne.
Aiden Anthony Pascucci. Ella Malay Peters. Kaylin Alexandra Petramalo. Abigail Marion Rose Phelps. Nicole Catherine Pitt. Michael Andrew Principe. Greta Jean Rechtenwald. Gabriella Faith Redman. Maislin Brooke Redman. Alan Todd Ritzler Jr. Emmanuel Oliver Robeson. Owen Reginald Rogers. Sarath Eli Rowan. Griffin Robert Rogers. Joseph Allen Rogers. Lydia Grace Rosick. Virginia Ann Roth. Willie Ruiz Jr. John Ryan Samara. Angelo Santiago Jr. Anya Kleiman Sheridan. Nolan Christopher Servant. Christopher James Skelton. Reed Raymond Skiptunis. Brianna Marie Smith. Summer Jane Sonricker. Ryan Avery Spaker. Catherine Marie Stansbury. Emma Anastasia Stefano. Emily Ann Steinhoff. Ryan Alexander Simons. Tegan Marie Senyek. Ryan Eileen Tanner. Sibley Soul Thompson. Leah Catherine Torjano. Kendall Lorraine Towner. Elizabeth Rose Van Dyck. Alexander Joseph Wastowitz. Owen Edward West. Jessica Erin Whitford. Michael Dwayne Wilson Jr. Haley Lynn Wolf. Stephen Knight Wright. Caitlin Ann Yelensix. Brody Miller Young. Ella Patricia Youngblood. Abigail Victoria Zolo. Alexander G. Zuber. What do you want to do? That means you got to get all these guys over there.
Well, I just figured then if you get people out of the stand, they get out of the stand.
Everyone, I've been put up here to stall a little bit because as you can see behind me, our graduates are still getting their formal pictures taken. But let me do my closing remarks, which will be relatively short, and then we'll give the graduates their opportunity to throw their caps when we're ready. But first of all, thank you, and once again, to all of our seniors, congratulations. When we exit the stadium, graduates and their family members should make sure that they take all their belongings, including their water bottles. Recycle bins have been placed at the exits. Graduates, please pick up your diploma at the exit over at the Chow Hut as we exit the stadium. And also, once again, make sure that everybody drives safely home. But in the meantime, we're going to allow our graduates to get some photos taken and then bring them over for the throwing of the caps. as we make it back to our seat. All right, now at this time, graduates, congratulations, you're the class of 2022. Now's the time to toss your caps. Get out your cameras, folks. All right. Graduates, we're not formally exiting here. Once again, thank you and congratulations to all of you for seniors. As we exit the stadium, graduates and family members should make sure you pick up all your belongings and water bottles. Recycle bins have been placed at the exit. Graduates, please pick up your diploma as you exit near or at our chow hut. Once again, thank you everyone and drive home safely.